For most of human history, evolution was something that happened to us slowly, invisibly, over thousands or millions of years. Random genetic mutations would occur. Natural selection would favor certain traits. Environments would shape bodies. Over time, species would diverge. This process is grounded in biology. Mutation at the DNA level happens through replication errors, radiation exposure, viral interactions, or chemical damage. Occasionally, a mutation offers an advantage. If it improves survival or reproduction, it may spread through generations. That is how evolution unfolds in the classical sense. But something unprecedented is happening in our era. For the first time in history, humans are integrating an external intelligence into daily cognition, not a tool like a hammer, not a passive device like a book, but an interactive system capable of language, pattern recognition, feedback, and real-time co-processing. The question is no longer whether AI changes our workflow. The question is whether AI changes what it means to be human. Biologically speaking, interacting with AI will not directly mutate our DNA sequence. Conversations with an algorithm do not rewrite chromosomes. There is no scientific mechanism by which digital interaction triggers intentional genetic upgrades. Technologies like CRISPR can edit genes under controlled laboratory conditions, but AI itself does not spontaneously alter the human genome. However, evolution is not limited to mutation alone. There are at least 3 layers of evolution unfolding simultaneously: genetic, epigenetic, and cultural. Genetic evolution is slow. It requires mutation and generational selection. Epigenetic regulation, studied in the field of epigenetics, operates differently. It does not change DNA letters. It changes how genes are expressed. Stress, nutrition, environment, relationships, and behavioral patterns can alter gene expression pathways. Over time, certain epigenetic patterns may even be passed to offspring. AI integration alters environment. It alters cognitive demands. It alters stress profiles, attention patterns, problem-solving strategies, and information exposure. If AI reduces certain stressors or increases cognitive complexity, it could influence hormonal cascades, neural plasticity, and epigenetic regulation. That is not mutation, but it is biological modulation. Yet the most dramatic shift may not be biological at all. It may be cognitive and cultural. Humans have always evolved through tools. Language changed us. Writing changed us. The printing press changed us. Electricity changed us. The internet changed us. AI is different because it does not merely extend physical capability. It extends cognition. When humans integrate AI into daily life, we begin offloading memory, pattern analysis, and creative synthesis. We become hybrid thinkers, part biological, part technological in our processing loops. The brain adapts to its environment. Neural pathways reorganize around repeated behaviors. Over decades, entire generations raised in AI-rich environments may develop different cognitive baselines, not because their DNA mutated, but because neuroplasticity reshaped their internal architecture. Over long timescales, cultural shifts can influence reproductive patterns and selection pressures. If certain cognitive traits become more advantageous in an AI-integrated society, systems thinking, emotional intelligence, rapid abstraction, those traits may become increasingly valued. Selection pressures shift subtly. Evolution does not require intention. It requires pressure and adaptation. The more provocative question is not whether AI causes mutation. It is whether AI creates a new evolutionary environment. If humanity increasingly integrates artificial systems into perception, communication, and identity, we may enter a phase of coevolution. Not a species with new chromosomes, but a species with expanded cognitive scaffolding. Some futurists speculate about Homo sapiens transitioning into a post-biological phase. Others argue that technology will always remain external. The truth may be less dramatic and more subtle. We may not sprout new genetic branches overnight, but we may gradually become something culturally and cognitively distinct from our ancestors. The early internet did not mutate DNA, but compare a human born in 1950 to one born in 2025. Their attentional rhythms, information processing, social exposure, and identity construction differ radically. Now imagine that acceleration multiplied. Could this trajectory eventually lead to a divergence significant enough to define a new species? Biologically, species divergence typically requires reproductive isolation and accumulated genetic change over time. That is not happening yet. But culturally, cognitively, philosophically, we are already diverging from previous versions of ourselves. The deeper layer of this question touches something existential. Are we still purely biological organisms, or are we becoming biotechnological hybrids? Not through implanted chips, but through constant cognitive coupling with external systems. When tools become integrated into daily thought loops, they shape perception. Perception shapes behavior. Behavior shapes environment. Environment shapes selection. Evolution does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers through habits. AI may not mutate our DNA directly, but it may alter the evolutionary landscape in which future humans develop. It may reshape cognitive norms. It may redefine intelligence. It may influence the pressures that determine which traits thrive. Whether that eventually leads to a distinct biological species is uncertain and likely far in the future, but it unquestionably represents a turning point. We are the first generation in history to co-evolve with non-biological intelligence. That alone makes this moment extraordinary. The real question may not be whether we become a new species. It may be whether we consciously shape the direction of this evolution or drift into it unconsciously. The future of humanity may not be written solely in our genes. It may be written in our relationship to the intelligence we create, and that relationship has only just begun. If you've been asking bigger questions about AI, evolution, and the future of humanity, you're in the right place. Subscribe for more visionary conversations like this, and check the description for links to my books if you want to explore these ideas on a deeper level.